Let's get right into it. Here's the 8 things you need to know before you relocate over to the Denver area. And I wish I knew these things coming from San Diego, California, going over to the Mountain State, Mile High, Denver. These are the 8 most important things that I could think of. Let's go. Now, when I say Denver, what does that exactly mean? Because there's the city of Denver, the county of Denver, the Metro Denver area, greater Metro Denver. I feel like all of this is kind of interchangeable, but there are some minute details that you need to know. Over in the San Diego area, there's like the city of San Diego, and the county of San Diego is massive. So with the city of Denver being somewhat small and the county of Denver also being on the smaller side, there's actually a whole bunch of cities and towns that can be included in the greater Metro Denver area. Now, for the most part, when people are talking about the greater Denver area, you're usually including like 11 counties, including Jefferson County, Douglas, Arapahoe, Adams, Denver, Boulder, and maybe some other ones that I can't think of right now, but it includes those 11 counties, which is much bigger than the typical city of Denver. With that being said, I will be discussing a lot of the things that include that 11 counties or those 11 counties. So there's a bunch of things that go on all throughout the greater Metro Denver area, including like the beer that I want to talk about, the breweries, food trucks, food events, and just overall, no matter where you are in the greater Metro Denver area, you will need to know these things. So I'm Ian Jimeno. I am a licensed broker here in the Colorado area. I love doing these tours. I love educating people about the Denver area. If you ever have any questions with the Denver area or just want to pick my brain on something or just have a chat, my number's down here, 720-704-3522, or send me an email. I'll put the link in the description for my email or however you want to contact me. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is the weather. As far as San Diego goes, the place that I'm used to, it's moderate. It goes from like 60 degrees to 80 degrees pretty much year round, right? As far as Denver goes, you can get up to the triple digits and go down into the negatives. Although when it goes up to the triple digits, it's pretty rare. Maybe like a week or two out of the whole summer season. And as for wintertime, it goes into the negatives maybe about, a week or so out of the whole winter season. The biggest difference, though, is the humidity. There is not much humidity over in the Denver area. It is just really dry. But there are lakes and there's no huge bodies of water to sort of moderate that temperature. So there's that extremities between the high and low, temperatures. So I'm always keeping the lip balm or chapstick on tap, lotion, just everything to moisturize in order, to save my soft skin. And because Denver is at a higher latitude than San Diego, we also have to take into consideration the north-facing versus south-facing homes. So with the south-facing homes, you're going to be pointing the face of your home towards the sun, especially during the wintertime. You want a south-facing home if you want your front yard to be hit by all that sunlight and for the sun to melt the snow faster on your driveway, your front lawn, and all that good stuff. And if you want something to clear up your backyard more than your front yard, you're looking for a north-facing home. Man, I really wish someone told me that sooner. And for you sports fans, you're gonna love this part. So for number 2, there is a bunch of major league sports that happen in the Denver area. So we got hockey, the Avalanche, we got basketball, the Nuggets, football, the Broncos, Rockies for baseball, we got Mammoth for professional lacrosse, and we even have the Rapids for soccer. So there's something for everyone here. I don't go to too many sporting events, but it's honestly, it looks like a blast with the amount of people that go. Even if you're not cheering for the home team, it's just all around good vibes. Yeah, it's not like if you are rooting for the visiting team, people are going to give you a hard time like the Raiders. If you are going to be going to these sporting events, picture it like, I like to tell people that the Denver people are like West Coast attitude, where it's just like really laid back, like hanging out, you want to be friendly, as well as the Midwestern hospitality. They're very welcoming and you're just going to have an all around good time at these sporting events. Third thing I want to talk about here today is traffic in the Denver area. So the 2 main freeways that I want to bring up first is the 70 and also the 25. I know I say the 25 or the 70, and that usually is a pretty quick giveaway that I'm from the West Coast. The 25 is almost, it's not always congested like Monday through Friday, but especially if it's during the morning rush between like 7 a.m. and maybe 9 a.m. and then going from 3:30 to maybe about 6 or 6:30 in the afternoon, definitely prepare for traffic. So the 70 goes east-west. It's going to go connect from DIA, which is Denver International Airport, and goes all the way through the mountains to like Grand Junction and further west all the way to Utah. And 70 also goes east out to like Kansas and stuff like that, but not many people go that way. They usually go to Utah. As far as the 25, it goes north and south. It goes from Colorado Springs to Fort Collins and beyond, and south beyond that. During the rush going over to the mountains, let's say on Friday afternoons or Friday midday even, people want to hit the mountains before the bigger rush, but coincidentally, it's always a rush on Fridays anyways if you want to hit the slopes during the winter season, or even during the summer if you want to hit those campsites. Going west on the 70 is most likely going to hit a traffic jam on Fridays in general. There are some smaller freeways, for example, the 36 that connects Denver to Boulder, and also the 6 that runs parallel to the 70 and also connects to the 70 on the way west going up to the mountains. And there's also the 225 that bridges that 25 to the 70 over in the Aurora area. Another thing I want to mention is a toll road. So the 470 Expressway also connects the DIA to the east side of the Denver area over in Aurora. So you got over in the Highlands Ranch area, that's where this tolls start, and it continues in a circular fashion going east and north, and then eventually connects up to DIA, and then over north, I think in like the Thornton, North Glen area is when it sort of stops and it hits the 25 again. So the 25 bisects that full-on circle of the 470. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. Point number 4 that I want to bring up is the thriving food scene, in my opinion. There's a lot of food events, festivals, a lot of things like that, and there's a thriving small business scene thanks to the Colorado Cottage Act. I'll put a link in the description for the Cottage Act and what that exactly entails, but it's very forgiving and very hands-off for food products or services that are sold within the Colorado state. Some of my favorite events include Tacolandia, where you get unlimited tacos and tasters of whiskey or tequila for like a fixed amount. Amazing time. And also the Rare Steak and Wine Festival. That sounds like a great time. There's also Chicken Fight, where it's a whole bunch of fried chicken sandwiches, and whiskey tasters. So there's always this like food pairing with alcohol pairing. Definitely check out Feed Me events. I love those events. I am a constant goer of those places, so maybe I'll see you at the next one. Another really cool food event is the Aspen Food and Wine Classic. Really famous place and events over in the mountains. As of right now, I checked, I think even 100 days in advance, all the tickets have been sold out. A lot of people love this event, and some of my favorite small businesses go to this event too, so definitely check it out for next year. Now, it's not just those big events, right? If you still want to help out the local community without breaking the bank or breaking the budget, definitely go out to these local farmers markets that happen around town. Check out the Boulder Farmers Market, Cherry Creek's Farmers Market, City Park Farmers Market, South Pearl Street, and if you're over in the South area, definitely check out the Parker Farmers Market. There's one store that I highly recommend too if you can't make it out to these festivals or farmers markets. It's called the Local Store, where they just sell goods and food and snacks and things like that, all locally made within the Denver area, and it's sold in those stores. So definitely check out the Local Store. I'll put a link in the description for all of these farmers markets so that you don't have to scrounge around the Google area. Now, I would be doing myself a disservice and a disservice for you if I did not mention the thriving beer scene here in the Denver area. Coors headquarters is over in the Golden area, and I've heard that they're moving the headquarters to somewhere else, which is kind of sad, but definitely go check it out if you're ever in Golden before they start moving. Rocky Mountain Water, fantastic. I love doing the tours over there just because it really is like having it on tap is awesome. Of course, there's a whole bunch of beer gardens and events related to beer, but I'm just gonna give you a list of breweries that I really like, being a beer maker myself, and I do like beer. Maybe I'm not drinking it so much these days, but either way, you should definitely check these out. Definitely want to check out Cerebral Brewing. It started out of a physical therapist, doctor that just was doing brewing as a hobby. Another one is True, spelled TRVE, which is heavy metal inspired. Almost satanic. I'm not 100% sure if they are, which I don't mind either way. They also serve some really good Nashville hot chicken there as well. So fantastic beers, fantastic food along with it. One of my favorite beers is the Superpower IPA over at the Comrade Brewing Brewery. Won some awards for the Great American Beer Festival. It's a fantastic place, and it's not easily accessible. It's sort of out there, but a fantastic place nonetheless. I host my meetup there as a real estate agent talking about real estate, mainly for the Superpower IPA. You definitely want to check out New Terrain. Fantastic views over in the Golden area. It's a little tucked away where the Coors Tech area is. It's a little industrial, but great trails in the area, food trucks are there, and like I said, fantastic views. Definitely check out The Great Divide. It won like 18 awards over in several years that it's been in commission. Fantastic place, fantastic beers. Also check out Wing Coop Brewing. It was founded back in 1988, which was co-founded actually by the previous governor and mayor, Heckenlooper. Pretty cool. If you're a big fan of Belgian beers, go check out Brews Beers. It's pretty close to my place and I'm almost able to walk to it, but fantastic Belgian style beers over there. BRUZ. I'll put a link in the description for all of these breweries. Also check out Ratio Beer Works, another fantastic place with a great location. It's over off Larimer Street, and if you're over in that area, there's a lot of other food places, a lot of other breweries if you want to check them out. But Ratio Beer Works is another fantastic one that won a couple of awards at the Great American Beer Festival as well. Last but not least, I do want to bring up Joyride Brewing, right across the street from Sloan's Lake. Fantastic location, has a rooftop bar situation. Definitely bring your friends there if you want to have that sort of like cityscape and the lake in the background too. Really cool spot, especially during the summer. Number 6 on the list of the things that you need to know about Denver is that they love their dogs. I mean, myself included, and I feel like I fit in right in there with the community. What's really interesting is that Forbes Advisor ranked Colorado as the #1 place for devoted dog owners in the country. Some interesting stats is that Colorado dog owners are second most likely in the country to move from an apartment into a house just for their dog. I think it's like 20% of those dog owners would rather move from an apartment to a house just to have a yard, more space and all that good stuff and cater to their dog. And a lot of those breweries that I mentioned earlier, I mean, if they have an outside patio or something like that, they definitely cater to those dogs or dog lovers. As long as your dog is well behaved, on leash and all that good stuff, you can bring your dog almost everywhere within Denver. And a lot of people love it in general. There are a ton of dog parks over in the Denver area, and you definitely got to check out the Cherry Creek Off-Leash Dog Park, which has 107 acres of land for dogs to just roam around. There's even a creek in the back of the state park where I play fetch with my dog Archie, and he just dives right into the creek, especially if there's like really good snow melt and the water is really high. He just dives in and goes swimming, and all the dogs love it over there. So definitely go check it out. There's a really cool event that happened not too long ago, back in February. It's called Goldens in Golden, and it's just everyone brings out their golden retrievers. They flock over to the Golden area, and there's a lot of tail wagging, a lot of biscuits, just literally just hanging out. I'm not sure if it's annual or semi-annual or if it happens throughout the year, but I definitely missed out by not going to that, and definitely check it out. Goldens in Golden. So I definitely got to talk about this, and at number 7 is the cannabis culture or weed. So for those of you living under a rock, Colorado was the first state to legalize recreational use of marijuana. For those that are older than 21 years old, it's much like alcohol where you can't consume it publicly, but within the confines of your own home or in special places, you're able to just smoke and enjoy it. So I will say it's here and a lot of people enjoy it, but it's not like a Cheech and Chong movie, right? It's not like people are rolling down their windows and smoke is blasting out, like no one's caring about this. People are very responsible for it, especially if like you're a young professional. A lot of people consume it almost like taking the edge off and enjoying a joint or something like that. Almost like having a beer at the end of the day after a long work day and you just want to enjoy yourself and relax. Especially in public, like if you're just walking around town, it's pretty rare that you smell marijuana or THC in general. I will say that dispensaries are here, Starbuds or the Greenleaf or something like that. It is here. It's just in specific parts of town in the greater Denver area. And they're not very grungy, like they actually take care of the outside of their building because they do want to attract customers coming in. It is a business practice. They do generate money for the state and taxed and all that good stuff. So they want to make sure that it looks good for the community and they want people to come in and don't want it to look too grungy. Now, of course, the creme de la creme of the 8 out of 8 things you need to know about Colorado or even about Denver in specific is the mountains. Denver is not too far away from the mountains. It's about an hour east of the mountains and it takes you about an hour going west, depending on traffic. It could take like 2 hours, but the mountains are here and they are fantastic and a huge draw for the community. What's cool about it too is that you can see the mountains from almost any part of the city. And for those ocean views that I'm used to in San Diego, I mean, you can only see them them if you're within like blocks of the ocean, but the mountains are enjoyed by almost everyone here. So when I'm going north on the 25 and go west on 70 and I see the either silhouette of the mountains or just the snow-capped mountains, I absolutely love it and I will never get used to it. There are so many resorts in the mountains for people to enjoy over in the Denver area or wherever. Some of my favorite ones are Steamboat, A-Basin, Loveland, Copper Mountain, Winter Park, Silverton, Beaver Creek, Telluride, and Vail is always a really good one too. Try them all out. Get the Icon Pass or get the Epic Pass, depending on what your friends have too. There's sort of this rivalry between those two passes, but go ask your friends what they got and get that same one so that you can enjoy your time with them. Now, the mountains aren't just enjoyable during the winter season. You can enjoy them during the summer season as well. Me personally, I like doing 14ers. 14ers are mountains that are 14,000 feet above sea level. So the peak is at 14,000 feet or more above sea level. So that is almost 3 miles above sea level, and it is not for the faint of heart. I consider myself to be a little bit more athletic, and I had a decent time going up Quandary Peak. It took me about 8 hours total with a bunch of friends going up there and coming back. I was exhausted at the end of the day, and there's just not much oxygen. You're getting beat by the sun after a certain elevation, because trees don't really grow above that 12,000 feet in elevation just because the air is so thin there, not much oxygen or carbon dioxide. So the sun is there. Definitely bring some lotion, a lot of water, some snacks, and just be well prepared and well rested for it. So that's it. Those are the 8 things that you need to know about Denver, Colorado. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of things that people might want to say about it, but for those people that want to relocate here, let me know what you think in the comments below as far as wanting to spread that knowledge and let people know what it's like to live in the Denver area. But those are the main things that I wish I knew before coming to the Denver area. And now that I'm here, I'm experiencing it all and enjoying it at the same time. Like I said earlier, I'm a licensed broker in the Denver area, and I love doing this stuff. And if you ever need help with the relocation or just buying a house hack or investment property or something like that, hit me up. It's 720-704-3522, ian@thephyteam.com. Looking forward to hearing from you, and thanks again for watching. Appreciate it. I'll see you guys next week.